The first thing I'd like to share is the About Me page. There's a link to it on the left-hand side right here. And it's got information about my background, my interests, and contact information. Next, I'd like to share the math assignment that I created. So I'm going to click on the math link right here on the left-hand side. And under the assignment content block, there's a link to assignment number 1, dividing fractions. I'm going to click on that for the details. So you'll see here the standard, I linked to it, the due date and time, the point value of the assignment, and then the instructions right here. So the first thing students are going to do is they're going to click on this link to watch my video on YouTube on how to divide fractions.
Hey guys.
And then next they're going to complete the attached PDF worksheet right down here on dividing fractions. And then thirdly, they're going to click on this link right here to complete the Flipgrid video tutorial assignment. So here they're going to record themselves showing their classmates how to divide fractions. And there's an attached Flipgrid rubric right here. It's a 4-point rubric. And then finally, step 4, they're going to complete the assigned quiz, which I'll talk about later. Next, I'd like to share the frequently asked questions page. So I created a page right here on the left-hand side. Click on that link, and it'll take me to a page with questions about how to contact me, grading policy, and things like that. Next, I'd like to share the calendar I created for the class. Firstly, I inserted the calendar widget into the main page on the bottom right over here for students and parents to view. And then on the, I think it's a teacher version of the calendar, you can see a larger overview of the month. You can see different due dates here for there's a discussion due date, a quiz due date, an assignment due date, and then there's a field trip, and then a birthday. Next, for the collaborative tool, I decided to create a discussion board, which I modeled after the CUI discussion board. So I'm going to click on discussion right here, and I'm going to click on the question right here. And so here you can see the question, you can see the directions right here, and then the due date, and then also I linked a standard to it, and then a point value. And then there's also a rubric for the students to view. And the rubric is also modeled after the CUI rubric. For the extras, I decided to play around with a couple of the different features that PowerSchool offers. First, I inserted this poll right here on the main page. The students can view it, click on an option, hit submit, and then they can see like a pie chart summary of the results. And then next, under discussion, I created, or I linked this Twitter widget right here, which is really neat. And then I inserted this chat feature, so the students can potentially chat with each other right here. Next, under math, I created this resources panel on the right-hand side that has links to some of our commonly used tools, our calculator and our online math curriculum. And then I also created a quiz using the PowerSchool system right here. You can see I created this 3-question quiz on dividing fractions. It was a lot easier to use than in the previous LMS that we've practiced with, because it had a built-in equation editor. And then next I played with different things, like I tried to play with the gradebook a little bit, which is something that Google Classroom is trying to implement. I also played around with this thing called wiki projects. I created something called Learning About Vaccines, and from what I think it is, I haven't actually tried it out with anyone yet, but it seems like it's like a web page that students can work on collaboratively. That's what at least that's the impression I got. I create different pages on vaccines, like what is a vaccine, how are vaccines discovered, why are vaccines controversial. And I think that the students can work on this collaboratively, I'm not sure though. And then I also played around with some standards too. I created, I added standards for the math assignment, standards for the discussion board, and standards for the Flipgrid assignment.